Amber Brown, aka Silly Miss Tilly. What is going on today? How
I'm
you
doing
doing?
great. I'm happy. I'm here.
You here? Tell me, have you been riding the motorcycle as of
Well, mine
late?
is the cold weather because we live in Minnesota. Yes, I have been, and it's been nice while the days have been sunny and shiny and 70.
I, I saw that picture you sent me yesterday of you on the mouse. I was like, is that you? Is that
That
your
is my
motorcycle?
R6. I have been riding for about 4.5 years. Riding a motorcycle is amazing. I encourage anybody and everybody to do it because there's a different kind of freedom when it gets to being on two wheels.
Now, what got you into that? Now, there's a fear factor involved in this. So, how did you get involved?
Well, me and fear, we definitely don't get along. I kind of step on it. Either way, it was from my grandfather, my papa. He was a motorcycle president, the JFDs. He got me riding when I was a little girl. Would always take me on his hog, his two wheels. And he got older, he had three wheels, so it still counts because there's three wheels.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Twin Cities Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin King, and I'm joined today by Amber Brown, aka Silly Miss Tilly. And I'm so excited to finally get to meet you and chat with you and tell me about how you're feeling about our coming into our conversation today.
Jittery, excited, like gears are going like this in my head. Thankful. I'm really happy how the world works and how it brings people together. To you to find me to be able to share what I do and what I love to do. So I was like, Twin Cities Leadership Podcast. What is that? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm willing to share to anyone about life, I guess.
Well, welcome. We want to welcome you and thank you for your time. And I want to get into it. I want to start back from when you were young, so back to your childhood or early years. What was like the first like spark of creativity or like performance that showed up in your life?
Well, I will say I've always been a people person. I always like talking with people. I was always that kid. If it was growing up in Woodbury, we kind of moved around a lot. Woodbury's sat in pretty good to my core memories as a child, and just being around people, talking, having fun, dressing up, just being loud and fun. Talent shows. Oh my gosh, the talent shows. They were great.
I live in
Oh,
Woodbury now. I didn't know that. What fun fact? I didn't know that. So you had a good time growing up in Woodbury. It's
oh
grown
my
so
gosh.
much. I mean, I've been here
I
3
rode
years.
in there the other day on my motorcycle showing up to a party, and I tell you what, there's like big buildings where there weren't big buildings, there were cornfields. So, what Woodbury used to look like and what it looks like now is still the same hills to the holiday. I don't remember the roads, the crosswords, because it's been so long, but it has definitely popped off. Woodbury has popped off for sure.
Mhm. So, were you always, like, into the arts or wanted to sing when you were little? Like, can you pinpoint a time when you were like, "Hey, I really like performance?"
Honestly, I'm gonna probably say my singing kind of popped off when my mom had a friend and he was hosting karaoke. Young Guns was his old company, and they would do karaoke, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was kind of fun. I think as I got older, I was like, ooh, growing up, singing really wasn't it. It was just being around people and being goofy and silly. I wasn't really exposed to a lot of theater stuff because we were always moving. So
Mhm. So, when you think about Amber and then Silly Miss Tilly, like, for you were you always, like, a performer, or was that something you always wanted to go into, like, the performance?
I think yes. I want to say yes. I'll just say I went to go to school to be an EMT. Okay. That was my college career, quote, quote, to be a police officer. And then I realized that guts and gore, and I give them mad respect for what they do. Like, it takes somebody to do the jobs that people do, and that is one of them. So I dropped out of college and then I just started volunteering. There was a lady named Lori, and I told her if I ever get famous and do a TV show, she's going to be my first guest to talk about how Silly Miss Tilly became a bee, uh, a social butterfly, that is. And I was hired to do my first job because I volunteered for 3 to 4 years at this nonprofit in the Twin Cities for families who they would come to the Como Zoo area. They had a pavilion, and I wasn't even like looking like this. I had like brown hair, pigtails. Like I was looking normal, but wanted to look weird. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then volunteered for 3 years, and she was the first person. She says, "I'm paying you for official business." I'm like, I'm really good at this. So Lori, I think was my biggest like event of like I said, I was just doing it because I was. Someone's like, she's like, "You can do this, Tilly. You can get paid to do what you do." And I was like, "Okay, all right."
So that early
Well,
encouragement, because so it was in
mhm.
you, right? It was in you when you dropped out of college. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then you had the encouragement and support along the way to kind of make it evolve into
Oh
what it's
yeah. Oh
become.
yeah. And the weird part was Lori, she used to be because I went to a school called Skills for Tomorrow. It was in St. Paul, right off University. I was going there and Lori's daughter, she was the like aid lady. She'd like check the kids in if you're late for school, she'd check you in. She was that admin office person. And so she knew her daughter knew that I was spontaneous. I brought my drums to a talent show. I was just you could never keep me quiet, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Was there in just in your heart of hearts during that time, was there any trepidation? Were you scared? Were you like, can I do
no,
this? Like, what was it like inside?
I don't think there was. I think it was more of it was like I get to the big part was being able to run around with the kids and be creative. And my personality, I mean, I play with puppets for Pete's sakes, like I wasn't scared. No, I think the reason why I wasn't scared is because it's something that I'm naturally good at. It's like I wasn't taught how to talk to people. You know, so when I just get in front of people, I don't know. There's no blinders on. But before I had to sit and try to get ready for this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. What am I doing? It was weird. So yeah.
Tell me about this play that you wrote that got accepted into the Minnesota Fringe Festival and took you over to Scotland. Tell me, like, how did that
Okay, never
start?
got taken to Scotland. I think some information was turned and twisted. So what happened was, um, I was encouraged to apply for Minnesota Fringe, and I was like, I'm not a producer. I don't know how to. Okay, all right, I'll do it. What the heck? So I did all the steps I needed to. I got in because I was minority. I got in because I was a girl. And then I paid for the entries. So I had 3 entries, and they picked my number. And I was like, holy cow! Now I really have to write a play. So I wrote a play about it. The name of the play was called "Take the Tea Out." And now, as far as the Scotland where that came into play, after the play launched, it was successful, it was beautiful, the message got across. Camden High School, we had met. It was weird how it worked. The gentleman, the teacher, the art teacher, theater teacher in Camden, um, we had crossed paths. He said, "You're Silly Miss Tilly. That's crazy." And I told him the play that I wrote about because Fringe had a big group, like after fact at a party, and that's where I'd met the guy. And so he wrote a play, and that play got asked to go to Scotland, and I was playing the handpan in that play. So that's what happened there. If you're about the whole Scotland thing, so that play got asked to go play in a different country for the big Fringe series thing.
Where did that idea originate from? Was that something you always wanted to do? Was to write a
No,
play?
definitely not. Like, it was one of those. I don't know. I get these moments where if something happens, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I can do it. I can do that. But like when it was like, yeah, you got the gig and you're in Fringe, you have to. I was like, then I kind of started panicking because I was like, Google searching, play. Okay. Oh my gosh, what do I got to do? Find your characters, find the theme. Well, the theme was fear and excitement, because I mean, okay, you look at it, karaoke is just karaoke, right? I mean, right? No, not to some people because you have to get in front of people. So there's a fear in it. So for the last, I don't know, 7 years, I hosted karaoke at Can Can Wonderland. I was the first person to host karaoke there. And when I said I was going to write a play about the kids, it meant more about like what they had to overcome. Does that make sense? Because it's a true story.
Mhm.
Like there, Lily, the girl in my story, she wouldn't even face a cam. Like she would not get up on stage. Didn't want cameras on her. It took me a year and a half to get her on a stage, and that's a true story. So that's where I got inspired by the kids because I just would just sit there and watch them and be like, this kid's got the most. Why is she not American Idol or America's Got Talent? Because she's got a voice. But fear is what was holding her back, and that's what holds back a lot of people. So, and it's really a thing.
We're talking to Amber Brown, aka Silly Miss Tilly, and I got to tell you, when I came to see you do your karaoke, and I was about to get up there on stage, but to your point, like, and I'm in front of students every day, like there is a fear factor of getting up there and being vulnerable and singing lyrics, and it is a thing. I felt it, and I was like, I want to, but I'll wait.
I can definitely see it. And then I said, and what did I say? I said, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, that's one of the things that, I mean, again, I bring it back to it's just karaoke. But when you have someone who has had a fear of maybe like speaking in front of people, there's all those, what do we call that? It's a power word, fear-based thoughts. When those start kicking in, they're all going to laugh at me. I'm not going to sound like the person originally singing the song. OMG, am I going to sound good? Those are things that don't exist, but we make them exist because we're human. That's what we do. But then you talk yourself out of it. What's the worst that's going to happen when you get on stage? Are you going to hit by a train? No, because there's no trains. I mean, there's trains parked in, Can-Can's thing, but they don't move. Um, you just got to do it. You got to and so the play, take the T out. You got to take the T out of can't. Because if you can do it, you can do anything. It's not hard. You almost did. I was like, no, he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. Maybe another time, one day.
I'm gonna do it. Because I appreciate the encouragement and the teacher in you to build confidence and to not push too far, but to know like, hey, like I'm here to support you when you're ready. We can do this, and so I really respect you for that. Just as a fellow
Thank you.
teacher. Now I want my audience to understand now, where did this AKA Silly Miss Tilly come from? So tell me, how was that originated?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So my dad, as a child, would always call me Silly Miss Tilly or Skinny Minnie Mouse, and I was not going with the Skinny Minnie Mouse, so Silly Miss Tilly kind of stuck. And yeah, I like I said, I volunteered. I started volunteering, and I was Silly Miss Tilly. And then I got a wig, and I got Did I say wig? I meant I got I got some new hair because the kids always ask, "Is your hair real?" Can we edit that part? Anyways, so I got a look. I got a look, Silly Miss Tilly look, and then I just kind of just I went into places. I made balloon animals. Balloon animals is like a tool that I have in my tool belt of things that I do. Um, Balloons, and then karaoke really kind of evolved with it. So Silly Miss Tilly was a balloon artist. She would play with puppets, show up to birthday parties, sing, do crafts. It was fun. It was amazing.
Were you ever nervous about going on stage and performing or hosting or any of the things that you've done?
Well, if you want me to be honest, every time I get on stage, my first song is always my hardest song because that's what sets the mood. But then I'm like, did you die last time? No, you did not. Did anybody get hurt? No, but you met more fun and friendly people to, live their best life.
So I witnessed you playing this
Yeah.
instrument before your performance, right? And I was just curious, does that help with nerves, or does that just help with like perspective, or Talk to me about what that means for you and why you
I
do
do
it.
it because it makes me feel good. It's one of those it's a good way to start off good feeling things. Excuse me. What I mean by that is like when I want to go do my best, like it's been that's what I've been doing since I picked up that hand is because it kind of brings me down to that not feeling like ah it brings me to whew, I just breathe through all my fear-based thoughts, my frustrations, thinking all these thoughts that may or may not happen at my show. And so being able to play my instrument, I kind of just get lost in the melodies. And I don't know, it's like I tell stories with my fingers. It sounds weird, but I tell stories with my fingers and then I get back in the game and I don't know, it's like I guess maybe my good luck songs before I start getting to get in my groove.
So describe the instruments. I want to paint the picture for my listeners. So you're on the ground. You're playing this kind of I would say it's a
Finally,
bluish
flying
instrument,
saucer.
and you're like, yes, and you're playing. All these different tones are coming out. Just paint the picture for what you're doing and what it looks
Okay,
like.
so the painting of the picture of the handpan. Think of a circle. Okay, you got a circle, and then think of 9 notes. So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the middle. So it looks like an alien spaceship. Okay. 9 notes, circular disc looking thing. And then it's made out of metal, steel. They call it a steel drum. There's different metals it's made out of. And underneath has a hole where all the resonation is supposed to be coming out of, but it comes out of the top too. It's interesting. It's fascinating. It's a handband and you touch it to play it. You have to feel it. You can't hit it. You have to feel. You physically, literally have to feel this instrument.
And the sounds that come out of it is
Uh,
beautiful. I mean, and I just loved watching you play. I have a video of it. I'm going to post it on my Instagram for people to see it and hear it because it is beautiful, produces beautiful melodies. So I want to get into how did you get involved in Can Can Wonderland and how did that happen?
uh, without crying,
Mm.
Can Can kind of saved my life. Can Can was Can Can was the new transition of how my whole life changed. I mean, still being an entertainer, but Can Can. I found Can Can. Somebody asked me if I wanted to do a what do you call it? It was a talent show. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I could do that. And it took one day to go in and swallow a balloon. And that was gonna be my comfort space, was Can Can. Can Can was my comfort space. They're like, well, do you want to do balloons? I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to. So I was doing balloons, and then I had said I wanted to do karaoke like 4 years later or 2 years later. It was about 2 years later is when I had said we should host karaoke. I want to host it. And
Okay, let's timestamp this. So it's 2026 when you got into when you went to Can Can. What year are we talking?
2026 or 2000,
So
2016.
so
Yeah,
10 years ago.
yeah.
10 years ago. And so you first just went in as just someone that goes to Can Can Wonderland and
I was,
participates in all that it
no,
has to offer?
I was invited to do the talent show. They had like this square stage, like it was a square stage, and they were hosting a talent show. They paid the performers to come in to do a talent show, and then if you won, then you got the big prize.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. 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 So started that 10
yeah.
years ago. And then 4 years in, is that when the
It
karaoke
was,
hosting began?
no, I think it was 2 years later. It was 2 years in. It was about 2 years in. Because I was just running
Okay.
around on Sundays, folding latex doing balloon animals. Yeah,
Hmm. So 8 years of hosting karaoke for kids
yeah.
and
Well, it
adults.
was well, this was the I said, this is what I said. This is what I said. I'm so glad they listened to me because originally the show was from 8 to 1 in the morning. Okay, that's when Can used to stay out late and we could have fun. Um, and then all the kids from 8 to 9, I was getting slammed with kids, and so I said, we need to do something for these children. They need an outlet. I promise you, if we have a kids show, like a kids karaoke show, it will be good. So let's do 2 hours here and 2 hours there. I was willing to sacrifice my adult time because I could see all these kids wanting to sing. So that's when they said, all right, from 6 to 8, we're going to do the all age. And then 9 to, it was 12:30, it was 1. The times keep changing, unfortunately.
No, when again, I want to. When I saw the kids perform, I mean, it melted my heart. I mean, just to see them, because again, as adults, it takes courage to
Yeah.
get. People don't like getting in front of people as
Hmm.
adults. Let alone a
Yeah.
10-year-old. So I mean, to see that was just amazing. So I've looked at like comments online and things that people are saying or have said is like silly Miss Tilly is such a great talent. She's the best in the business. Um, and you've been described as humble and grateful. So I want to know what when you hear that, what does that mean to you? What does it feel like?
It feels good. Uh, yeah, it's good. It makes me it tears me up in a way of I know what I do, and when I hear it, it just really kind of just I'm God's got me on the right path with people and inspiring and sharing is caring, seeing is believing, and touching the hearts what's real.
It's such a when I read it and when I hear you how you respond to it, I know it matters. You know what I mean? It means
Yeah.
something. You're impacting people. People feel
Mm.
seen.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, um, it's relationship
Yeah.
building. All those things.
When you come into my show, it's crazy how like so many kids that I've got. I just recently I just got a kid. The mom pulled me aside, and these are the hard times for me. Is not hard, but that's where I know where my work is being. That's where I need to be working. The mom had said that her son had been being bullied, and he's been being picked on, and he has threatened the whole hurting himself, and he's now came to my show 3 times, and she had said, "Thank you so much for what you've done for my family and my son. You don't really realize what you've done." And I'm like, "I'm here. You tell your kid to write me a letter, and I'll send him a pass because that's kind of what I got going on right now. Don't tell nobody." I have the kids write me letters. We write letters together. Like it sounds funny, but I mean, like I said, it's my show's not just a karaoke show. It's I build relationships where I'm needed. Like it's just the honest to God truth.
So I saw or heard this kid there when I was there. They were talking about how they've been coming there for
Yeah,
8 years, right? And I was like, wow, they were 16,
yeah.
and so I mean, eight that's pretty much your formative years. I mean, that's a lot of times, and you see a lot of these kids grow. I mean, you make connections with them and their families, and so tell me, like, just to see these kids and their families grow and grow together with you being really a backbone of their experience.
Makes me feel old. I'm joking. No, it makes me feel good. It really makes me. I just watched. I just went to a play. One of my humans that comes to my shows and sing. I just watched a play. I just sat in the audience and watched. And and her mom, she said, if it wasn't for your show and her getting on stage for all the things that you do to inspire these kids, she wouldn't be right here. So, I it's hey, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. You know, because I think about it again, it's
Uh,
relationship building. I mean, it's
yeah.
trust, right? These families are bringing their kids back year after year after year, and you're a part of their development. They'll look back on this and say that you played an integral role in their childhood and the confidence that they are able to exude and they can pinpoint this moment in time. And so to me, like that is such a
Yeah.
gift. You know what I mean? That you don't even realize it. You're right. And then these kids will grow up and they'll get interviewed by
Yeah.
someone and they'll ask, where did all this come from?
That would be cool.
you know, and this will be a
Yeah.
testimonial for
Uh-huh.
them.
I 100% agree with you. All the things that have come into my life have truly been a blessing. And I wouldn't, I have no regrets. No regrets at all. Like with all the kids and seeing the hard times that they've even had to go through. Again, it's one of those, you wake up and you do it again. You wake up and you do it again. You wake up and you do it again. If you didn't get it done, you try again tomorrow. There's a lot behind it. And it's mainly willpower.
So here's what I witnessed when I watched. One, I see kids who are um, becoming more confident as a song goes
Yes.
on. Like they may come up there, a little shy, but once the song gets going, I mean, once they get into the rhythm of the lyrics, and then there's the personality comes out. Like their personality comes out. If the song has attitude, then their attitude comes out. And there's all these different um, personalities with them that gets to be on display for people to see, which creates so much confidence. It gives them
Yep.
stage presence, right? Being able to be okay with people looking at them and feeling
Mhm.
seen. And then I look at you and I just, I mean, it's like you're just so proud. You know what I mean? I mean, you just, what goes through your mind, like when they finish the song, and the backstory with a lot of
Yeah.
these kids and what it took for them to
Oh
get up
yeah.
there.
Well, what goes through my head from where they were to where they are now, is that what you're saying? Like all like just
Yeah, like when they come off the stage, like what are you
well,
thinking?
if it's a newer kid and they've never sang before, I mean, I'm gonna like the biggest thing is encouraging. So when I'm watching them sing and they're scared, sometimes what I do is I put the lyrics up a little bit, like like they can hear them, and then they grab onto it, and that's when you see them catching onto that song. And then I'll take it out, and then I'll just watch. And then anytime there's like a break point, yeah, give it up for blah, and then you can. That's when they're like, that was for me. and then and then they finish the song, and then coming in with a hard, yeah. Then it's just like a kid that goes to ride a bike, and their parents are over there screaming, yeah. I'm just Tilly.
I loved it. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and I love why you're doing it and who you're doing
Yeah.
it for. And it was just really amazing to see you in action, the before, during, and after, and just again seeing the impact that you're making on our community. This segment is sponsored by Kowalski's Markets, where it's all about the joy of good food. I want to, as I ask all my guests, what is your Twin Cities hidden gem that you think more people should
Yeah.
know about? It
Any
could be
store, anything?
it could be a place, event, or experience that you think more people should know
Place,
about.
event, or experience. Well, I think it's a play. I know it's a place. And this place, it's called Costumes Plus. Now, they're in Maplewood, though.
Okay.
And this place, if you're always anything that you could possibly try to find is at that store. It's a clothing store, it's a costume store, it's a year-round store. They have everything.
Costumes Plus in
Yeah.
Maplewood. Amber Brown, aka Silly Miss Tilly, it's been a pleasure to have you on the Twin Cities Leaders
Thank you.
podcast. I really do
I
appreciate your
appreciate
time.
you. Thank you.
And join me on the next episode of Twin Cities Leaders. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and watch us on YouTube as well. I'll see you all next week.